Inside, it's time for Game 4, and Julius Erving of Philadelphia says have to do.
Portland won on Sunday because they ran their fast break very effectively and got a lot of uncontested easy baskets. In order to win this evening, I think we have to stop them from running, and we also have to do a better job of rebounding and play better all-around defense to stop them from scoring 129 points again.
Bill Walton and the Trailblazers say they can do it again and even up this series for the NBA World Championship.
The NBA World Championship Series. Tonight's game is sponsored by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Goodyear, makers of the American Eagle Radial, a new kind of tire built especially for the American road. And by Penn Tennis Balls. Penn, if you're serious about tennis.
The standing ovations in Portland are underway already. As you might imagine, a sellout crowd for this, the fourth game of the NBA World Championship Series. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger along with Rick Barry and Steve Jones. Rick, Philadelphia's got to struggle now to get right back on top, in command.
Well, Brent, they still don't have the pressure on them. Portland has got to win this ball game, but Philadelphia, as Julius pointed out, must come out and play aggressive defense if they expect to win tonight.
Steve, Portland looked awfully good on Sunday.
Well, Brent, they want to get out of the chute very quickly. They're going to try and play good offense and keep a lot of defensive pressure on Philadelphia this evening.
The starting lineups with the Heights, Erving and Gross, McGinnis, Lucas, Jones, Walton, Collins, Hollins, Bibby, and Davis. And the referee with the basketball, Don Murphy, will be coming into your picture soon. Manny Sokol across the way. And Rick Barry, I would expect a very emotional beginning to this game.
No question about it, Brent. Both teams really ready to go.
Gross and Hollins. Here come the Blazers, moving right to left in their white home uniforms. Maurice Lucas comes inside with the game's first shot.
And he makes a tough shot over George McGinnis. Looks like they're going to challenge George right away.
Bibby working along with Collins. Erving outside, right side. McGinnis cut off Lucas. They go to Caldwell. Jones rejected Walton. Johnny Davis to Lionel Hollins. Rose crashing into Bibby. Bill Walton was hanging back that time as it appeared as though the Blazers might be able to come away with a fast break basket. So the offensive foul is charged, and Bibby comes up behind Jones. Game 5 will be Friday night in Philadelphia, 9 p.m. Philadelphia time. Erving puts it on the floor.
That's a great move by the doctor. He got the left side, saw the opening, took it in, made a great reverse layup with the right hand.
Now we can watch the Blazer attack. Jones already a little more physical against Walton. Lucas with McGinnis out. McGinnis fouling. Lucas with a chance for a three-pointer.
Well, there's been quite a rivalry between these two players. They've been having a lot of talking about it as we take a look in the slow-mo. The pass by Gross. Lucas behind that screen by Walton. George, a little late getting out on that screen.
I know the game just started, but it seemed like it's a different team from the last videos that we previously watched.
His momentum carried him into Lucas. Chance for a three-point play for Lucas. But that's what I was saying, Brent. They have really been working very hard at one another and taking this as a personal challenge to see if one can shut the other one off.
McGinnis said they were going to try to get inside in a hurry against the Blazers, and he was going to give up his jump shot outside. Mired in a shooting slump. You could hear the crowd urging him to shoot. Putting it on the floor. Walton staying right with him. Here's Hollins. Lucas open right side.
And Maurice Lucas, the man who was so instrumental in the win on Sunday when the game got close, coming up with big basket after big basket, has really gotten Portland off to a great start.
A 5-point Blazer lead here in the fourth game. Philadelphia still leading Portland 2 victories to 1. Bibby left alone, top of the circle. Walton still another rebound. Collins ball on the floor. Portland unbeaten at home during the playoffs. They've won 16 in a row overall. And Walton hits the field goal, and she Shue must restore some order quickly.
Gene has to take a timeout at this point because Portland has really jumped out. They're throwing everything up. It's going in, working the ball very wisely, playing the tough defense. Looks like a repeat of Sunday right now.
Gene Shue and Jack Ramsey match wits. Ramsey out ahead 9-2, 9:59 left in the first quarter. Portland perfect from the floor. They've hit their first 4. Philadelphia 1 of 4. Gross with Erving. Walton out on Jones. Hollins has McGinnis now in the switch, and so George goes up over the shorter defender. Ramsey looking for the offensive foul.
Lionel Hollins got hurt in that play. George McGinnis just jumped right into him. Could have easily been an offensive foul. Good break for the Philadelphia 76ers and McGinnis.
The wheel man of this offense, Walton, waits for the dish. It's Davis. McGinnis off quickly to Doug Collins. Collins and Erving have carried the scoring for the 76ers in the first 3 games. Both averaging in excess of 25 points an outing. Erving short. Walton. McGinnis said he was going to look more for the rebounds. He was in digging that time. Collins at the top of the second.
Boy, when you're going hot, it seems like it's contagious. This Portland team really shooting the ball.
7 points already for Lucas, 2 for Walton, and 2 for Hollins. It's 11-4. Luke hand checking McGinnis. George getting in. Wanted Jones off his hands. Gross retrieves on the turnover. Here come the Blazers. And listen to these fans at Memorial Coliseum. They have started to believe. Walton goes to the glass.
This is some start Portland's gotten off to. They're playing better right now than they did in the first quarter on Sunday.
A concerned Gene Shue, the 76er coach, looking on. It is that fast start. Portland will be bubbling with confidence because of it. Erving and Walton was there to contest him. Loose ball, it'll be jumped up.
Great defense being played by Portland. They're forcing everything outside. Julius Erving was the only man to get inside so far in this game. That was the first basket that Philadelphia had scored.
Maurice Lucas and the Blazers jump out to a 9-point lead. In Game 5 Friday night, back in the Spectrum, already a sellout. It'll start at 9 p.m. Washington time. Coach Jack Ramsey bending down in his customary position. Off goes the pass to Davis. Hollins had fallen down, back up. Off to Walton, who steps right up over Jones. An unbelievable start by Portland.
Gene Shue's off the bench again. He may have to call another timeout quickly if they get a basket like that again. They're just doing whatever they want on offense and defense.
Erving clear out right side. Goes to McGinnis underneath, muscling up on Walton. Offensive ball is the call, and that is 2 fouls against McGinnis.
Here's the play again. Here's the pass by Erving into McGinnis. Now watch him try to back in Bill Walton. There he is. He jumped into Bill and made the contact. And here's Bill. Here's the great pass by Hollins. He gets Jones to commit to Bill Walton. That's 2 points any way you look at it.
Walton waiting, puts it down, and went to Lucas on the turnover. Now the 76ers come out. Bibby took the ball from Erving, and Bibby will come up with a jumper. Off and Davis trying to clean up on the side. Pushing off against Davis. Ramsey unhappy and not agreeing. There is Steve Mix next to Jack McMahon. Mix did not play in the second half Sunday. Said that he could have played. Gene Shue said he wanted someone who would rebound with a little more authority. Erving blocked with Walton as he put it down.
Bobby Gross got Julius on his way to the basket. It'll be on the side now for the Sixers. 2 team fouls on the Blazers.
And 2 fouls against Gross. Doug Collins is off. Gross outlets Davis.
Trailblazers came to play.
They go to the left side for the setup. Hollins pulls up.
Well, Lionel Hollins is not shooting the ball very good in the game on Sunday, but he popped in 2 right away here. Gene Shue pointed out Brand is forced to call another timeout. This Portland team is really inspired. They're playing almost picture-perfect basketball. The tough defense, get the board, get it up the floor, and get the opportunity shot.
Please tell me your thoughts about the video so far, because honestly, the Portland Trailblazers, they came to play the 76ers. I don't know what's going on. They falling short.
Those 17 Blazer points, the result of 8 of 9 from the field. They have missed just once. And to the bench, goes Jack Ramsey. Corky Calhoun will take on the doctor, and right away they start pushing against each other. Erving trying to get free. Calhoun will hand check him. Erving puts it down and glides in. Foul was called away from it by Murphy.
And it's on Corky Calhoun. It'll be the third team foul for Portland. The Sixers really struggling now. They came from 18 down on Sunday, remember, so they're certainly not out of it, but they must regain their composure and start to establish themselves.
Calhoun reaching in on Erving that time.
Here we see the ISO right now. Julius Erving make the fake to the right in there. Calhoun reaching in with his arm, picking up the foul.
Jack Ramsey protesting that call, saying that Julius had been pushing off. Calhoun comes in and gets hit with two quick ones, and Erving goes to work on him. Walton had jumped over, tipped free to the Blazers. Hollins in the middle. Hollins outside. Crowder. Put it down.
That ball bounced off the rim, was still within the imaginary cylinder that extends from up above the basket. Watch when he goes up for the rebound. That ball is still partly over the rim when he reaches up and grabs the ball. That is goaltending.
19-4 is the result of that goaltending call. Calhoun on Julius. Staying close. Bibby. Johnny Davis jumped out on Bibby and fouled him. Shue reaching down for Daryl Dawkins and Lloyd free.
That is the bonus situation now for the Blazers. They have 5 fouls with only 6:27 to go in the first quarter, and you can tell who the aggressive team is. They're out there. They picked up their fouls because they're going for steals, really aggressive on the defense. Philadelphia, meanwhile, is playing a little tentative on the defense. And this is what we talked about, Brent, before the game. They have got to come out and play tougher defense. They're giving Portland far too many easy opportunities.
Free did not follow Dawkins in because he is going to replace Bibby, and of course Bibby is at the line. Lucas off on the miss. 6:24 left, first quarter in Portland, and just as it was Sunday, the Blazers are red hot here early. Davis. McGinnis. Bibby. Quickly to the doctor, off to Collins, who gets on the scoreboard. His first 2 of this game.
That's what Philadelphia must do. On those missed shots, they must get it up the floor quickly before the Blazers set up their defense.
Walton wants it against Dawkins, looks and goes to Maurice. Lucas maneuvers. Dawkins had switched off.
That's 4 for 4 for Maurice Lucas from the floor, Brent. He really has that hot hand going for him, and they should be getting the ball to him more frequently.
9 total points, 1 free throw in addition to those field goals. Inside pass is a good one, and Lucas blocked it away from George McGinnis. Lucas just stuffed him that time. Collins, pull-up jump shot. Dawkins off to Bibby. Calhoun watching him. Knocked it back to Bibby. Hollins there and Bibby off. McGinnis and Walton went to the passing lane. George was falling out of bounds. He had no alternative that time. 21-7. 14-point Portland lead.
Wisely, Lionel Hollins trying to get them set up to run something a little bit better than those tough shots to the outside.
Shot clock in the left-hand side. The whistle had blown before Lucas shot.
Daryl Dawkins was caught for holding on to Lucas on his drive to the basket, riding him on the hip.
Free into the action. If you were with us on Sunday, Dawkins picked up that foul. You saw Lloyd Free encounter some breathing problems. Claims that he feels much better tonight, and he's going to go at full bore. And he checked in with the 76ers back by 14. He can give you instant offense.
You can tell one thing by this game, Brent. The officials are not about to let it get out of control. They're calling it very close here in the early stages, trying to set exactly what's going to happen as far as the aggressiveness is concerned. And I think they're doing a good job of it. The players will clean their game up.
First foul on Erving. Dawkins watching Walton run around one hand jump shot. Dawkins was coming up. Lucas was in behind him. And loose ball foul against Maurice Lucas, his first.
Daryl Dawkins will go to the foul line in the bonus situation. 1-1 for 2.
So we come to the free throw line with Daryl Dawkins. And Rick, I have noticed from time to time an occasional flash of light up on the screen. You don't have to worry about an imperfection in your picture. We've just got an awful lot of photographers here at courtside. That's their flash bulbs exploding. You'll see the light up there on the side of your screen from time to time. 21-8 is the result of Dawkins' free throw. 9 with 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Game 5 in Philadelphia Friday night. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 o'clock out here on the West on CBS. It already is a sellout. And if Portland wins, there will be a 6th game back here Sunday. Calhoun was reaching for the ball, and it went out of bounds before he touched it, so it goes to the Blazers.
Again, Lionel Hollins really looking for that outside shot. He's got a man, Lucas, with the hot hand. He's the man that should have it.
Quick shot by Lucas. Erving came across into Davis. No foul. Crowd wanted it. Doug Collins went crashing into Lionel Hollins to give it up. And finally, the offensive foul is called that time.
That was a fine play by Lionel Hollins. He saw the play developing, ran down the middle of the court, got himself stationed under the basket to draw the foul from Collins.
Ramsey, formerly the head coach of Philadelphia and Buffalo, signals the play to Portland. Calhoun, left alone, buries it.
There's that great penetration. They put pressure on Lionel Hollins, blew by his man, pitched it out to the open man when the forward came over to help on defense. Corky responded well.
Portland scored 34 points in the first quarter on Sunday. They have 23 here with 3:45 to go. Dawkins rolling free, keeps it. Here's Collins maneuvering. Tosses up one underhanded. Lucas right to the doctor. Jump shot, Erving. McGinnis at the offensive end. And Walton was there to clean it off, and McGinnis still having trouble as Collins goes to the other end, and he was fouled.
Yes, again, Bill Walton inside, keying the defense for Portland on the block shot. Getting it out, getting the good break opportunity. Hollins all the way to the hoop. Lloyd free reached in to foul him. Portland running it well right now, Brent.
16 straight victories in Portland for the Trailblazers. Cleveland, the last team to win a game. Dave Twardzik, number 13, checks in. Johnny Davis out. Play 4-9. Free with control for the 76ers. Walton yelling instructions. Dawkins. They couldn't find a man open, so he just went outside with the shot, and that's not the kind of offense that'll get him back in this game.
That's
Here's
no
Hollins. Off to Walton on the jumper. Erving. Off to free. Good Blazer defense here early. Dawkins pull-up jump shot. As we have said, the young man from Orlando, Florida, possesses a fine shooting touch, as he demonstrated on that turnaround. And he is still growing. 6'11", 265. Lucas off, and the 76ers with a chance to cut into that margin. McGinnis with a tennis shoe problem. Has it on. Bad pass. Twardzik is there. Quickly down the left side, and Hollins flies off to the right. Look at the ball movement. Calhoun.
So Corky Calhoun, who came in and did an excellent job in game number 3 on defense, is responding here with a good offensive effort, hitting 2 open opportunity shots, as well as doing a good job on Julius so far.
Calhoun married to Erving. His job, because of the explosiveness of the doctor. 3. Collins at the perimeter. Calhoun was maneuvering. He took Erving right out, getting that rebounding position. Twardzik to Walton.
What a pass by Twardzik. Looked like he had eyes in the back of his head. He just knew Bill Walton was coming. That was just a super play by Twardzik.
Twardzik and Hollins. On Sunday, it was Twardzik and Davis. Collins maneuvering inside. There was a whistle. Hollins was on him.
Watch this play. Twardzik coming in now. He sees Bill's behind him. He comes in, flips it to Bill, traveling right down the middle. Nobody even there. Bill Walton lays it in the hoop. Just a super play by Twardzik.
First foul against Hollins. Walton gets a break. 1:32 left first quarter. And that signals the entrance of Lloyd Neal, who has given Jack Ramsey some impressive bench moments in the last 2 games.
Doug Collins not off to a good shooting start in this basketball game, and they certainly need his output as well as Julius Erving. Nothing going very good right now for the Sixers.
Neal signaling timeout. Listen to the fans here in Portland. Not a seat to be had. The team has given them 16 straight victories on this court, and they have blasted off to a 28-12 lead. Now the burden is on the 76ers.
All right, let me know in the comments. 28-12, that's a big lead. Let me know in the comments, do y'all think the 76ers will be able to make some type of comeback?
Must find a way to climb back in it. And there, of course, their 2 biggest offensive weapons, Doug Collins and the Dr. Julius Erving. And, of course, don't forget Friday night, Game 5, Philadelphia. And then on Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular. I was down for the Muhammad Ali Invitational Track Meet. You're going to want to see Houston McTeer run the 100 meters, and also Muhammad Ali, Marvin Gaye, Jimmy Ellis in a celebrity 100. Muhammad will tell you all about his future plans, why he doesn't want to retire. That's Saturday on the Sports Spectacular, along with the Motorcycle Race of Champions. Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Speaking of Houston McTeer and Muhammad Ali, Ali is now backing the young man financially. Jack Ramsey bending into the Portland huddle. And Rick Barry, what can Gene Shue do right now?
Well, Brent, I think what he's got to do, first of all, is to get them to come out and play better defense. They have got to try to stop Portland, contain them somewhat, try to work the ball a little bit better on offense and get better shots. Right now, they're keeping them outside. Portland is keeping Philly outside. They're taking the tough shots. They're not making them. They're only shooting 24%. And we'll take another look at this Twardzik play. Here he is with the basketball. Now he looks and he sees Bill Walton coming behind him. Super pass right behind the back. Bill just travels up the middle. And that's what you call having good court sense.
And here he is, Dave Twardzik. One of those unheralded men who labored in the ABA. Collins comes around with Bibby. Comes up with that jump shot. Dawkins cleans. Erving. 1:15. Erving in a foot race, looking for that sliver of daylight. And Twardzik went in, and Erving goes crashing into the photographers with Twardzik. The doctor is all right. Twardzik is okay. You could just see and feel what Erving wanted in the worst way, to find just that inch of daylight that could lead him to one of those patented slam dunks and try to lift Philadelphia back up. Give him a bit of an emotional surge with that play. And so alertly, Dave Twardzik went back. Even though he fouled him that time, they were not going to give him that daylight. Game 5 in Philadelphia Friday night. A sellout in the Spectrum already. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Here it is 28-14. A minute to go in the first quarter. McGinnis taking Calhoun. Knocked away from Lucas. Collins retrieves. And Manny Sokol is going to send it the other way, and Lucas said, look, it was knocked away from me.
Yes, but Lucas touched the ball, Brent, as it was knocked away from him. He was the last man to touch it, and when his own teammate Lionel Hollins picked it up, it was a backcourt violation. Good call by Manny Sokol.
Bibby's early return means that Lloyd Freese still not 100%. McGinnis on the muscle, came up on Lucas, caught him under the chin that time, too, and traveled. But Lucas took a blow, wiping his eyes now as he walks in front of me. Crowd, and I'll tell you, he took a shot. He's like a little fighter there, shaking his head. Twardzik goes baseline, Walton Maurice, and here he is. McGinnis, his third foul.
So George still struggling out here, not able to get his game back together. Picking up 3 quick fouls. Now who will Gene Shue come in with?
And it'll be Steve Nicks, who did not play in the second half on Sunday. So with 3 fouls, McGinnis goes out. Rick Barry has said repeatedly to me that at some point, Gene Shue was going to need George McGinnis if they could not get by with a 2-man offense, Julius Erving and Doug Collins. Tonight seems to be the night when they need a big comeback from McGinnis.
Brent, no matter how great a player is, he's going to have an off game somewhere along the line. Julius and Doug have played so superbly for Philadelphia. neither one of them off to a particularly auspicious start at this juncture in the ball game, and they need help from someone else. And George has not been able to respond. Lloyd Free with his bruised rib has not been able to respond. Those are two men that they need badly.
Spins out. Here's Bibby. Last 30 seconds, 29-14. Double team, the doctor leaving Bibby wide open on the shot that time. Portsick just surrendered it. Off to Hollins in the middle. Hollins wanted Lucas coming through. On the turnover, it'll be the 76ers.
Not a good selection of passes there by Lionel that time. Everything was jammed up, and there really was no room for him to get the ball through to Lucas. I don't know what he would have been able to do with it if he had caught it anyway.
Bibby positioning. Calhoun on Erving. Calhoun urging him to go to the right where they seal it off. Dawkins came out of there firing that time. Was fouled as he came across.
And Corky Calhoun will pick up his third foul, and bonus situation for Darryl Dawkins. 3 chances to make 2.
Gene Shue pondering the future of the 76ers in this game. Trailing 29-14. Dawkins makes it 15. Jack Ramsey never stops. He is in perpetual motion.
Brent, a good friend of mine, Cy Sperling, who follows basketball, he's a real freak on it, said, don't count anybody out of this series. He thinks it's going to go 7 games. I think I have to agree with him. The way the teams are going right now, we're going to have some super basketball game coming up real quick. Right now, it's been always one team exploding on the other.
Portsick came up at the buzzer, and Rick, since you mentioned it, the schedule would be Friday night Game 5, Sunday night Game 6. Next Wednesday night in Philadelphia would be the site of the 7th game.
The NBA World Championship Series will continue after this word from your local station.
I never thought I'd live to see the day that I was welcome here in Portland. Brent, Steve Jones must have made that banner.
Steve will be along at halftime. He right now is in our tape truck with John McDonough and Bob Dunphy looking for highlights. So we'll have those at halftime, and also a special feature. Lou Rawls will sing 10 Feet in the Air, and you'll see highlights of the first 3 games of this series. Right now, we have started the second quarter. 29-16. Erving with the first shot for Philadelphia. Walton working with Neal. And here's Lloyd off to Gross on the break.
That's a fine pass by Lloyd Neal. He chose the bounce pass, the proper pass in that situation. Very difficult for a man to get low and intercept the bounce pass on the run.
Bibby wants the doctor back, and Walton contested him. Foul is called against the big redhead who stepped over on Julius Erving and cut him off at the pass. And you know, Rick, you have already pointed out about Walton's movement on defense. He has been so quick. And I asked somebody, what kind of care does Walton take of himself? And he said, Brent, you wouldn't believe it. It is a ritual, 2 hours nap before every game, that he probably takes better care of himself than any other athlete in the NBA today. All of that despite all of the injuries. And, of course, he's a vegetarian. He will eat an occasional salmon. And you can just see his movement tonight. He came to play basketball. Signals the play.
Even more important than that, Brent, mentally he prepares himself so well. And that's the key, I think.
Gross looking in. And here now is Davis. Quick pass, Walton Gross.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful.
Another great pass by Walton. Just got done talking about what he does for this basketball team. He spotted Gross open under the basket. Got it to him, and Gross made a tough shot. Here's the super pass. There's the man open. Gross lays back, off-balance shot, gets it in.
Collins backing into Davis. 33-16, Portland. Erving, Collins, Bibby, Dawkins, and Mix. Erving double-teamed on the jump shot and hit it.
Julius still trying to pull his team up and get them back in this basketball game.
Portsick coming into Bibby, and the foul was called against Henry.
There's the play here. You see Portland. You see his left hand. Henry Bibby's left hand riding him on the hip. Not allowed.
Lloyd Neal back from a knee operation. Inside went the pass, and Collins fouled Johnny Davis, the rookie from Dayton.
There's those reverse cuts that Portland does so well when Walton has the ball. Now watch in the top right part of your screen. There'll be a back screen set right there. Picks off Collins and gets Davis open just a half a step, and that's all you need in this game.
Walton looking for a man, puts it down. Dawkins with him, and Portsick comes around the pin.
There's another great shooter from the outside. He does not look to shoot the ball very often, but when he does, he makes 60% of his shots.
Portsick coming over on the double.
You know what I'm noticing, and I want you to correct me to make sure that you see what I'm seeing. But it seems like they count on the centers to do more than just post up under the hoop. I'm actually seeing them dribbling and going up and down the court with the ball, something that you don't see much in today's basketball.
Team, and it's a jump ball, and Dave puts it. He stepped over there, and Doug just turned the ball right into it.
This young man has played 2 very good basketball games. He was instrumental in Sunday's game. Here you see him take a gamble. Collins' head's turned to him. He doesn't see him coming until it's almost too late. He's managed to tie him up with the jump ball. Smart play by Dave Twardzik.
Dawkins out. Jones returns for Gene Shue. Davis. Lloyd Neal left alone. The battle underneath.
And it was Bobby Gross who made that play, Brent. He kept the ball alive, and Bill was able to tip it in for the offensive basket.
And Darryl Dawkins just watching that rebounding action. Inside to Bibby from Mix. Out of bounds as Neal was battling. Philadelphia keeps it. Lloyd Free will try it again. Doug Collins out. And Lionel Hollins reports right back in. Twardzik out, and listen to the ovation.
So as we talked about, Brent, Doug Collins not off to a good start. One of the 2 key men for Philadelphia, and this is really hurting them now.
Erving. Gross fouled him. He'll come to the line. Wally Walker, Twardzik, and here it is. 3 fouls on Gross, Rick.
There's the play up in the air by Julius Erving. Gross tries to jump by him, manages to have a little contact with the body. Enough for the official to justify calling a foul.
Calhoun with 3 fouls also. So there have been 6 fouls committed in the act of stopping the doctor here in Portland. Gross muscling the pass in, off Neal, and here comes Free. Free not pulling away from anybody. Turnaround outside on Davis. Walton gets back off to Hollins. Hollins quickly to Davis. Lost control, and Neal was there. The battle. Jones tied over the top of Gross.
Bobby Gross really battling on those offensive boards. That's twice now he's been instrumental in keeping the ball alive. Let's take a look at him. Here the ball goes up. Bobby gets up, gets a hand on it, keeps it alive. Again, he gets his hand on it. There's perseverance for you, and there's Jones reaching over him for the foul.
Gross goes out, and Larry Steele comes in. Number 15 with the ball. Here's Hollins and Neal up on Jones. Short. Went right to Neal. Over in the left corner, Davis starts down the baseline and goes to Neal, who was rolling. And offensive foul is called.
It'll be on Davis, who got up in the air on that play, passed off, and his momentum carried him into a man to pick up the offensive foul. And so Philadelphia putting themselves in a big hole again here in game number 4. They're going to have to really work hard to get out of this fix.
8 minutes and 58 seconds left in the first half.
Yes, Brendan, the foul situation right now, Calhoun, Davis, Gross for Portland with 3 fouls each. But the one luxury that Jack Ramsey has, he has 3 quick forwards who can play against Julius Erving, and he's responded by bringing Larry Steele into the ball game.
Let's set the matchups. Hollins awaits Lloyd Free. Davis goes with Bibby. Walton is there with Jones. Neal, Mix, and Steele of the doctor. Steele got a hand on it.
You see the defense Portland is playing, Brent. They have Philadelphia right now 25 feet from the basket. Look at this. Look at the overplay right there. Steele gets his hand on it. They're 25 to 30 feet from the basket. Not the ideal place to start an offense by any means.
And again, a hand knocks the ball away. It was Hollins that time away from Free.
The Sixers are half a step off. Portland is much more alert. They're out hustling them out there. Philly's going to have to work hard to turn this around.
Erving against the shot clock. 37-23 and 8:30. 11 points already for Erving. Lucas with 10, Walton with 10 for Portland, and Lucas out right now. Foul was called.
And it was a good thing that somebody saw that, because that was a bad screen by Steve Mix. He darn near took off Lionel Hollins' head on that play.
His first. Mix is there with Neal. has not practiced since spraining that left ankle prior to the first game on a Friday in Philly. Hollins driving to the basket neatly.
Good play. He had two defensive men jump on him. He took advantage of it, saw the opening right to the hoop over Julius.
You can see where Philadelphia is setting up. Now Free gets into the right baseline and went up against Neal. Neal with terrific position that time. And I thought the man went right up into him as Dave Twardzik returns.
That was some block that Lloyd Neal had. He timed it beautifully, but he got it with the body down low, and I'm sure that's what the foul was being called for. The crowd here, understandably so, was not too happy with that call. There's the play again. See Mix come off the screen. Good defense as Lloyd Neal jumps out, picks him up, goes up with the shot, times it beautifully, catches him. Looked like Free was going forward on that play, and he could have initiated the contact.
7:48. Twardzik guarded by Free. There avoids the easy layup that time. The doctor flying out on steal, and Jones is underneath. Lloyd in the middle. Now Free trying to give Philly a lift, and I believe he's going to be the man if they're going to have anybody. It is 39-26. 7:28.
Portland must avoid what they did on Sunday. They can't get complacent out here. They have to work hard the defense, set up their offense like they're doing now.
Portland so intelligent on offense. Hollins fired the miss, and Maurice Lucas checks back into the game with 7:18 left in the first half.
That's 5 fouls now, team fouls that is, on the 76ers. Lionel Hollins, 3 chances to make 2. 7:18 to go in this quarter. That's a lot of time left to be in the bonus situation. Could be a big factor in Portland's favor.
Neal leaving, 2 fouls on Lloyd Free. Hollins with a miss.
Portland, meanwhile, has 1 foul to use. They have 3 team fouls at this point in the game.
So Lou Rawls with 10 feet in the air at halftime. A musical look at the first 3 games of what now shapes up to be a series that will be every bit as memorable as last year's Phoenix-Boston showdown. Free regains it, double teamed off the Mix. Steele's going with Erving. Free pulls up outside and hits one.
Well, he gets the ICBM working. Nothing you can do to defend him.
Hollins was coming in on Bibby that time.
And the foul is on Bibby once again, riding him on the hip down low. Henry has a tendency to do that. Let's watch him now. Watch his hands. Watch him down low as Hollins is going by. There's the left hand again, the same way he picked up the last foul. The official's right on top of it, not going to allow that type of defense to be played in this game.
Rick Barry wanted to shoot a little golf himself today, but we had a rainy day here in Portland.
That's too bad. I'd like to go out and hit that little round ball. I'm glad I don't have to make my living doing it, though.
Well, those guys have got some kind of mental pressure on them. And the Kemper Open on CBS this weekend. Don't forget the Sports Spectacular on Saturday. You'll watch Houston McTeer against Steve Williams, Steve Riddick, Don Corey, Paisley Crawford, and Johnny Jones. Probably one of the best fields in an off-Olympic year ever to run the 100 meters.
Interesting statistic, Brent. In the first game back in Philadelphia, Bill Walton was taken out of the offense by Philadelphia. They did a heck of a job, and now Portland has made some adjustments. Already in this game, Bill Walton has had the ball 13 times on offense, being able to help run and choreograph that Portland offense with his passing.
Free with control, and 6:47 left in the first half. Steve Jones will come along with highlights at halftime here in Portland. Mix goes to Free. Throws one up from outside, and he was in just a bit of pain as he came away from Twardzik.
Well, Twardzik bumped into him, and anytime he gets any type of a shock like that, it's going to affect that cracked rib that he has. Here's the play. Comes off the screen. Right there he got hit, and that will smart, I think, even if you didn't have a cracked rib. And you saw how high that shot went, Brent. The ICBM I'm talking about, of course, is in regards to the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, because he gets that thing up there in the rafters.
It was in the Boston series, I believe, in the Boston Garden where he went wild one night. Bibby.
A nice spurt now by Philadelphia. They've cut the lead down to 11 points. They're getting themselves back in the game. Portland must be careful with 6:26 to go.
Jones watching Walton. Inside pass to Lucas. Mix picks up his second foul, trying to cut Lucas off. Shue protesting.
And to the foul line will go Lucas as Gene Shue protests that call. Steve Mix picking up his second foul. And it's so important for Portland to run their offense like that, and it's so important for Philadelphia to try and stop it by not allowing that man to get the step coming across the middle, because then your defensive job is over, Brent. In that situation, the way you must play defense is to stop the man from making the cut to the basket. You must force him out away. Once he goes to the hoop, then Walton has a free rein as to what he wants to do with the basketball. He can pass it, do anything he'd like.
Big Luke's first points this quarter, Rick. He got a good rest. Free inside to Jones. Walton was there, Bibby. And Walton came back, and the whistle was blown underneath.
And it's a loose ball foul
on Lucas. That's his second.
Lucas and Jones are going at it quite a bit. Manny Sokol ran down the wrong end of the floor.
Shue protesting, and he's talking to Sokol, and Shue said, there's the technical. As Sokol took the basketball, went to the other end. The foul was against Lucas, and Shue was all over Manny Sokol that time.
I'm sure that what Gene Shue probably had to say was the fact that Manny Sokol had been calling so many fouls that they just assumed that it was going to be on Philadelphia. And Gene Shue was telling him, hey, Manny, they're shooting it down the other end this time.
Twardzik to shoot the technical. Manny telling Shue to sit back down or he's out of here.
One thing you can be sure, Brent, I'm sure Gene Shue didn't say it as nicely as I put it.
He got a good education at Maryland. Gene Shue's a very articulate coach, Rick. I'm sure he was. Speaking just like you do.
Interestingly enough, he had a good point to argue. Portland has scored their last 7 points all from the free throw line.
And here's Jones after the Lucas foul. Lucas with 2, Gross with 3, Davis with 3, Calhoun with 3. .46-33 and 6 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first half of this, the 4th game of the NBA World Championship Series. Game 5 Friday night in Philadelphia, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Steele maneuvers. Rejected by Jones. Hollins. Oh, Hollins went outside and hit one.
Well, he had to shoot that one, Brent. The shot clock is running down.
That was a beautiful reject.
Good play by Hollins.
Blazers were protesting. They thought there was goaltending. Mix on the turnaround. Hits. 5:29. It is 48-35. Portland. Comes into Jones. Crashing into him that time. And on the offensive foul call against Twardzik, the ball will go now to Philadelphia.
There you see the play. Jones, no question he has position. Twardzik just crashes into him, picking up the foul. Doug Collins now, of course, had a long rest. That's the longest we've seen him out of the game.
Back with Free, who is maneuvering. Twardzik picks up another 4 fouls against Dave Twardzik.
There you see the play right there. Before he blocks the shot, he had his hand down low, riding free. And the officials, for one thing, Brent, are being consistent. They're not allowing that lower hand to ride the man on the hip.
Herm Gilliam reports in. Twardzik with the 4 fouls goes out.
Brent, here's an incredible statistic. In this game so far, with 5:14 left to go, Philadelphia has not scored more than 2 field goals in a row.
7 points for Free after the missed free throw. 48-35. 5:07 left first half. Walton looks for an open man, dumps it to Lucas, who maneuvered free of Mix.
Another good play by Portland, running their offense. If Bill Walton has the ball and they allow their men to cut to the basket, Philadelphia's going to be in big trouble tonight.
14 for Lucas. Jones picks Hollins off. Walton switches out, and Free goes over the top of him. And Walton quickly down at the other end now. And Free was there. Walton maneuvers inside. Tap back. Jones swings free. Hit by Gilliam. Back now to Walton. It's 2-on-2. Walton now spots Gilliam in the corner. Lucas back. It's 5-on-5 and 4:24 left first half.
That's a good, smart play by Herm Gilliam. He had the big man waiting for him.
Lucas up on Collins short. Erving and Steele came behind him. Julius battling to go to Portland, but it was Steele who knocked it loose originally. Jones flies across, retrieves.
Maurice Lucas getting a little over anxious right now.
And see, this is exactly what I was talking about. All of that energy and so much energy brings so many errors. I need to slow it down.
Erving into Walton, off of Bill's hands and out of bounds. And again, as Erving cut and looked for daylight, the redhead was there. So we've got a timeout called here in Portland. Listen to the fans. We'll set the scene for you. Philadelphia won the first two. Then the series came out here, and it became all Trailblazers. And they lead game 4, 50-37. 4:01 left in the first half. Back in Portland. And over on Gene Shue's bench sits one George McGinnis, who has scored but 2 points here. Came into the game 14 of 40 for 35%. Gene Shue was reaching down to find someone who could ignite this team. It has been Lloyd Free. And game 5 of this series coming up Friday night from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Already, it is a sellout.
Yes, sir, Brent. Philadelphia was 8 for 11, or they are 8 for 11 so far in this quarter for 73%, and that's really helped get them back in the game.
Philly trailing by 13. Steele out on the doctor. Larry Steele with those quick hands. Offense, they say. Erving was pushing off on Steele.
Let's take a look at the play. Larry Steele guarding him right here. He tries to reach him. Watch Doc's left arm now. There you see him hook him a little bit. Didn't really push off. Kind of a ticky-tack foul, if you ask me, Brent.
Saw a couple of those flash bulbs that I spoke about earlier. Coliseum jammed with reporters and photographers. Lucas goes left to Gilliam, inside to Hollins. Jumps up on 3, who partially blocked it, and Erving off. Lead for Doug Collins. Gilliam is there in the corner with him. Collins has to jump over a couple of those photographers that I spoke about, and also a woman who was sitting back there. Collins is down. Got him free.
Tell you what, Brent, he made a heck of a play. He chased that ball down. He was able to get it and throw it off of Herm Gilliam. So the Sixers still maintain possession. Great hustle by Doug Collins.
All threes left. 3:33 in the first half. Hollins is there with Lloyd Free. Pull up by Lloyd again. Jones up over the back of Maurice Lucas. Fouled him, and there was no doubt about it. That's the second foul against Jones. In the penalty, Lucas will come up now to the free throw line. He scored 14 points here in the first half. You know, when Lloyd Free takes command like that, Rick, Doug Collins will disappear from your offense.
No question about it, Brent. Doug plays without that basketball. They have to set plays for him to get him open. And this is one thing we remarked about in Sunday's game. He only shot the ball 13 times. He made 9 of those 13. A man like that should shoot the ball a minimum of 20 times every time they step out there on the floor. If he's got the hot hand, he should shoot the ball perhaps 25 to 30 times.
51-37. Blazers leading the 76ers. 3:20 left first half. This the fourth game. Portland trailing. 2 victories to 1 and in command. Erving underneath.
Bill Walton called for the block on that play. He established position. Julius never had an opportunity to see if he was there. Now watch Bill make good defense. He moves over weak side defense the way you're supposed to, but he moves right into Doc as he's coming down. That's a good call by the official there. But Bill Walton again in the right place. Just a little bit too soon.
Erving shooting for his 12th point. Averaging 27 and outing so far in the first 3 games of this NBA World Championship Series. 51-39 and 3:10 left first half. Walton sandwiched that time. Steele takes it back and goes to the hoop against
Beautiful
the
shot.
doctor.
Beautiful.
That was a great shot by Larry Steele, and I'll tell you what, he got hammered on that play. He should be at the free throw line. The Doc really nailed him.
Nix picks Hollins off. Free goes up on Lucas. Mix at the offensive end. He drew the foul, so he'll come to the free throw line.
Herm Gilliam picking up that foul. His first of the game. The bonus situation still prevailing. That type of shot that Lloyd Free took there was not the best. That was the first real bad shot that he's taken in this game. Of course, when you have the hot hand going for you and you're making a few, you think that anything you throw up is going to go in. And you see Doug Collins walking around back there. He has not had the ball on offense to shoot it in the second quarter thus far.
Henry Bibby will check back in for Gene Shue. 2:37 left first half. Lucas goes to Walton, and they go inside to Gilliam, and Free was there. It's goaltending.
And again, those are cuts
They
that
got
are
his
so effective.
goaltending,
We'll watch
but
it right
these
here. There's
rooms
Gilliam
is
wide
different.
open. Lloyd Free lost his man, puts it up. The ball's on the glass. Now it's hit by Free. That is goaltending.
Gives you an idea of how high a Free can jump.
Yeah.
Off to Collins.
3-second violation, Brent. That's the first time that Doug Collins would have had a chance to shoot the ball in the second quarter as Henry Bibby comes into the game, replacing Lloyd Free. Very important 2:15 coming up, Brent. For Philadelphia, they must try to cut that lead down to 10, perhaps underneath 10 points. As far as Portland's concerned, they'd like to run off about 4 or 6 in a row to get a little cushion.
Jones leaning against Walton. Lucas goes back to Steele. Now Erving is switched off. Jones fronting him, and so Steele is outside alone.
Double team the man. The man gives the ball up to the open man. The open man puts it in the basket. That's the way the game's supposed to be played. On offense, at least.
Bibby. Jones waits for Henry, who squeezes an outside shot, and Lucas off to Gilliam. You can watch the time in the right-hand corner. Back now to Walton, who came in with the left-hand offensive foul is the call. 3 fouls against Bill Walton. Charged into Jones.
There's the play again. Bill Walton has the opening. He comes in. Jones just stands right there. He does a little lean job. He would have been hit anyway. Officials call a charge on Bill Walton.
Lloyd Neal will be checking back in shortly for Jack Ramsey and the Portland Trailblazers. And Gilliam slipped around. Jones was looking the other way, knocked it out of bounds. Here is Neal, and Walton goes out to an ovation in Portland.
Smart play by Jack Ramsey. They cannot afford to have Bill Walton pick up his 4th personal foul.
Steele reached in on Erving that time. Here's Walton out with 1:19 left first half.
To show you how much Bill Walton's been a part of this offense, he's had the ball on the offensive end of the floor 20 times in the first half, and that's what they have to do to be able to beat the team. So what we mentioned, Brent, not trying to allow one team to get a big advantage on them. Philadelphia has not been able to do that. Portland ran off a few points on them. These free throws by the doctor could bring it back down to 14, but that's still a good lead to be going into half with as far as Portland's concerned.
After the miss, the Blazers bring it back. 1:15 left first half. Gilliam crossed to Steele. Back to Lucas. You can see the defensive mismatches out there right now in this sequence. Gilliam outside on Collins. Jones and Gilliam hustle back, and it went out of bounds. It'll go to Philadelphia. 59 seconds. 57-42. Blazers. Erving pulls up on Steele and goes to the glass on the turnaround jumper. 57-44, mixed with a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. Portland keeps possession.
They got a break there, Brent. They shouldn't have been in such a big rush. They should have tried to get the ball up the floor, used up the time, only give Philadelphia one more opportunity. If that ball had gone back to Philly, they could have gotten 2 more shots. Not a good choice on that pass by Maurice Lucas.
Neal. Here's Hollins. That's the shot clock on the left-hand side of the screen. Hollins pull up on Bibby. And they go to the glass, and Philly's off after the miss. Erving's free. Finally, the doctor was able to bury the dunk, and that's just how well Portland has played on defense. It was with 25 seconds left in the first half that Portland finally opened the door and let the doctor come in. It is 57-46 right now, an 11-point game.
Philadelphia has done what they had to do. They're right back in striking distance going into that second half.
Gilliam swings right and comes back to Neal. Neal on the pull-up, Walton on the bench, and off comes Erving. The Knicks at the buzzer. They cannot get off a shot. At halftime, we'll have highlights. Steve Jones will be out here with me, and Lou Rawls will sing 10 feet in the air, and you'll see the doctor go 10 feet in the air several times. Here's Erving for Philadelphia, 6 of 8, and from the free throw line, 6 of 9. And as far as Doug Collins is concerned, he took 4 shots, hit 1 of 2 from the free throw line, total of 3 points. And George McGinnis with that 1 field goal. So we'll see how Gene Shue elects to use McGinnis here in the second half.
Brent, the one statistic here that has to be brought out, and it was evident in Sunday's ball game. 17 assists for Portland, 5 assists for Philadelphia. A very good indication of which team is moving the basketball and which team isn't. Something the Sixers are going to have to do more of. Get Doug Collins involved in their offense, not try to do it so much of one-on-one. This is what we talked about. Has always been a real detriment to Philadelphia when they start to do that. That's when teams are capable of beating them.
Walton and Portland back, and the crowd on its feet. 57-46. The Blazers with the lead, and they go to pressuring. George McGinnis will start the second half along with Caldwell Jones. Doug Collins and McGinnis went sliding by his first miss. Lucas. Walton now coming back to join the attack. McGinnis watching Walton in this sequence. They want Gross. There's Walton, and there was a violation inside. So on the 3-second turnover, it'll go now to Philadelphia.
Lionel Hollins was open. Bill Walton did not see him. He couldn't get out of the lane quick enough.
Dennis waits for an opening. Lucas out on him, and it is Doug Collins who immediately goes to work. Hit the field goal and drew the foul
on Bill Walton. That is 4 personal fouls on Bill Walton, Brent. And that could be a very big factor here in this basketball game so early into the second half. Doug Collins, as we talked about at halftime, moving without that ball, and they got it to him. Showed you what he could do with it.
Collins. So Collins pumps in a couple of field goals. It's a 7-point Portland lead right now. 57-50. Jones. Now Erving has switched on Walton. They go cross to Bobby Gross. Collins put a hand up, and Gross can one outside. 6 points for the game for Bob Gross, second-year pro from Long Beach State. Collins goes to the basket, challenges Walton. Loose ball foul is called. It's on Caldwell Jones, number 11. 3 fouls against Jones. Dawkins on the sideline with 1 personal. And Portland ahead by 9. Off to Walton. Short. Bibby off on the fly to the doctor. Hollins races back. The doctor glides in.
Let me know in the comments, do you see a great comeback starting with this season? Well, with this quarter.
It's a 7-point lead. Hollins right back for the Blazers. Puts a move on Bibby. Jones fouled him. Bibby couldn't stay with Lionel Hollins. Jones came across, and you'll see him smash into him. Field goal counts.
And he got him really good down low with the body, and Lionel Hollins made a heck of a move to make that basket as well. Now let's watch the tremendous body control of Julius Erving on this long lead pass. Lionel Hollins tries to reach around him and get the ball away just to disturb him. The doctor said no way. Tremendous control. Nice soft touch on that little flip shot.
Hollins being tended to on the side. He comes back. Daryl Dawkins has checked in for Philadelphia. Jones goes out with those 4 fouls. Hollins has scored 17 points, 18. Erving positioning his offense. Gross giving him the left. Dawkins rolled off of the pick. Lucas switches over on him. It's short, and Gross is off. Hollins comes up on Doug Collins. Collins fouled him. 3 fouls against Doug. So there's a fan enjoying the game, listening to the radio commentary here.
Brent, that's 3 team fouls now on the 76ers with 9:49 to go. That could really hurt if you get in that bonus situation too early. Only 1 on the Blazers.
Back to 11. That was the lead when we began the third quarter. On the turnover. Offensive foul. It goes over now to Portland. So 3 fouls against Julius Erving. Timeout called here in Portland. Erving. 76ers go over. Don't forget Game 5. Friday night on CBS. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. CBS has been honored several times for its coverage of the Belmont, and this shapes up as one of the greatest ever. Seattle Slew goes for the Triple Crown. Here Portland going to get even for the NBA World Championship Series. Pass from Walton to Gross. Lost control. Erving off the Dawkins and back. It's 63-52 with 9:24 left in the third quarter here in Portland. Lucas goes over in the corner now against McGinnis. McGinnis moves on the basket. Hit the layup. That's 4 points for George McGinnis.
George has got to try to get inside, try and get his confidence back a little bit, then move out some.
Walton waits. Dawkins with a hand up. Lucas comes over. They're squeezed together. 4 men. Finally, Hollins outside comes up on Doug Collins. Hollins has his eye. That is 21 points already for the second-year guard out of Arizona State. Switched on the doctor, as you can see, and he stayed right with him. Made Julius make the first move and then blocked it. Davis wants Hollins. 23.
That's what they don't need, Brent. Again, the one-on-one situation. The Doc tried to do it by himself. He's the only one really playing that good right now for 76ers. But Bill Walton was not to be had that time.
McGinnis goes, throws the layup, and drew the foul that time. That is 3 fouls on Maurice Lucas, who came away. So, Rick, you have said that George McGinnis has got to go inside to get his confidence back, and we have seen him do just that the last 2 times he's handled the ball.
And the thing about it, Brent, is he did it off of situations that were created. It wasn't like he took the ball, backed in, and tried to do what Julius did in the last play. That's not the type of basketball that they need to play. They have to take advantage of opportunities that present themselves quickly. That dribbling the ball, bouncing it around, working your way inside, just lifts Portland to really stack their defense inside, and you have almost no place to go.
Off the missed free throw, Walton cleared. McGinnis missed everything with a missed free throw on Sunday. Net, hoop, glass. That's how deep this slump has been. Hollins and Bibby picked him, and Hollins retrieves off to Walton, facing the basket to the ground.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful.
And that was a big break that time for Portland. Good defense by Bibby. The ball went right back to Hollins.
69-55. Erving comes up. Again, it was Walton who jumped up over and influenced the Doc. 4 fouls now against Erving on the loose ball call.
There's the play again. Julius goes up with the shot. Bill there to try and intimidate him. He does so. On the rebound, Julius in his anxiousness to go over and get the ball. Catches him with the body down low. Didn't look like much of a foul.
Excellent defensive performance by number 32, Walton, who wheels the pass to Gross. Assist for Walton.
The doctor tried to shortcut that one, and he got burned on the pass from Walton.
71-55. Game 5, Friday night in Philly. 6 p.m. Portland time.
This is what they must not do, Brent.
McGinnis pulls up. Walton off to Davis. Steve Mix will check back in. Johnny Davis, and Erving clears. Off quickly now to Collins, and Walton cuts him and went back into Collins. 5 fouls on Bill Walton. 5 fouls on Walton.
And See, that's what I'm saying. That's what they need to do. They need to force their team to do what they haven't been doing, which is foul. You foul them and get them in foul trouble and get them out of the game.
Unhappy. And that will cause some concern. Here's the play. Now watch Collins make the move. Bill cuts him off beautifully. Makes the spin move. Bill's right there. Goes up. Right there, makes the good block. They called him with the body because there's no way he fouled him with his arm. He had a clean block on that play. It had to be with the body. And now Jack Ramsey must bring in Lloyd Neal. 7:02 to go in the third quarter. Will Philadelphia capitalize on this? Doctor on the bench also.
Walton and Erving out. 7:02 left in the third. 71-57. Lucas pressure to the basket. Jones came over.
That foul will be on McGinnis, I believe, outside.
His fourth. The foul situation is just this side of unbelievable in this game right now. Let me run down Philadelphia for you. Erving with 4, McGinnis with 4, Jones with 4, Collins with 3. For the Blazers, Lucas with 3, Gross with 3, Walton with 5, Davis with 3, Twardzik with 4, Calhoun with 3. Jack Ramsey said at halftime, I am concerned about the number of fouls that have been called, and how right he was. 6 minutes and 54 seconds left in quarter number 3. And the whistle, such a factor the rest of the way. Walton out with 5 right now. Jones, McGinnis, Erving, and Twardzik each with 4. Lucas at the free throw line. Hollins with the last 8 points for the Portland Trailblazers. And Rick Barry still that statistic about consecutive field goals by Philadelphia.
Unbelievable. They have yet to put together more than 2 field goals in a row. They haven't run off 6 points yet.
Let me know in the comments if my plan was to get the Trailblazers into foul trouble early on. Do you think this game would be different when it comes to score?
And right now, the bonus situation prevails for Portland. Sixers with 5. Blazers only have 3.
Lucas, Davis, Hollins, Neal, and Gross on the floor right now for the Blazers. Jones, McGinnis, Mix, Collins, and Bibby for Philadelphia. 6:48 left in the third. 72-57. Philadelphia leading 2 games 1. Game 5 Friday night on CBS. Collins push up, and it was Lucas muscling Bibby out of the way. So Big Luke now takes over with Neal as Walton gets a rest. You imagine that the Portland Trailblazers could have had Moses Malone on this team this year? They sent him to Buffalo. Gross outside on Mix. Bobby Gross picks up at the perimeter. 74-57 now and 6:20 to go. Caldwell Jones will handle it.
Portland got a real break that time. Maurice Lucas actually walked with the ball at the top of the key, but the officials didn't see it.
Lucas cuts off McGinnis inside. Collins flies. Off now to Jones. Doug retrieves. Taken down by Neal. Quickly to Gross goes the pass. Davis. Here is Hollins. Short. Bibby tripping as he goes after the ball. Ramsey trying to get one for the Blazers there. Pressure in the backcourt. So here's the 7-foot center. Jones goes to Collins, and here's McGinnis and Lucas on him. Back to Collins, who was open on the double team against McGinnis that time as Hollins left him.
Good play by George. And once again, you see how Doug Collins moves so well to make himself available for the pass when his man left him.
74-59, 5:30. McGinnis there on Gross, and here's Neal. Outside jumper.
That's a shot he made on Sunday. He made about 3 of those. Really helped give the Blazers a spurt.
He's good from that spot, Rick. That
Yes,
has always been the spot where Neal can hurt you. McGinnis goes outside, misses, up over the top. Neal off to Hollins. Slump continues for Big Mac. Hollins pull up on Bibby. Short. Lucas offensive rebound. Foul called. McGinnis coming right along with him that time, but it was not on George that time.
4 on Henry Bibby now, Brandon. Another man. No, it's only 3, excuse me. They corrected it on the scoreboard. Only 3 fouls on Bibby, but Maurice Lucas will have 1 and 1 for 2 at the foul line, and there that bonus coming into play right now. Portland still only with 3. Sixers shot selection is leaving something to be desired, to say the least, Brent.
"17 for Maurice Lucas. Erving next to assistant coach Jack McMahon. Watching the action, Julius has scored 20 so far. 78-59. 19-point Blazer lead. Knicks backing in on Gross, and Neal came right across to reject it. Collins quickly on the floor. Here's Davis inside. McGinnis cleans it.
It just seemed like the Trailblazers wanted more.
Up. Off to Jones. Breaks with Collins. Collins behind the back. And offense is the call. 4 fouls against Doug Collins.
Philadelphia just can't seem to get anything right as you watch the play here. There's Collins. He'll put the ball behind his back now. Nice move. Established position by Gross. Goes right into him. Bobby Gross with a good defensive play.
With Walton out, Portland can go up by 21. Nix and Gross fighting underneath. And the whistle and the foul against Gross. 4 fouls. From the side, the 76ers put it in play. As he did so often in Game 1, Jones brings it up from the left corner. Bibby with Lucas Klein at him. Gross to Hollins in the middle. 76ers drop back. Here's Lucas. 20 points, Maurice Lucas. With 4 minutes and 1 second, take a look at the crowd in the Memorial Coliseum. 80-59. The redhead on the bench. And up they go without any problems. While you were away, they cheered and cheered and cheered some more. 80-59. An explosion by the Blazers with Walton on the bench. Erving checks back in. Off his hands and out of bounds. Here they come again. 3 minutes and 54 seconds left in the third quarter.
They've only scored 13 points, Philadelphia, so far in this quarter. Doug Collins has 8 of those.
Lloyd free back. Lucas with Erving. Maurice Lucas, 22.
Boy, if this team didn't have confidence in Philadelphia, they sure have it right now. This Portland team is playing super basketball.
Goes to Portland. They turned it over. Free, and Collins could not connect. $82-59. Calhoun and Erving got up on it.
Great timing by Doc on that play.
It has gotten to be quite embarrassing for the Philadelphia 76ers here in Portland after the way they played in the first 2 games in Philadelphia. And now Portland is just taking it right to them. Here is Lucas. Turned around on Mix, who was on him, and Mix fouled him. And Game 5 of this series, back in the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
You see the play here. Lucas going up. Mix reach again. I didn't see the foul there. If anything, he must have gotten him with the body down low. Does a little acting job on the play. Tough angle to see it from this play.
51 fouls so far in this game. 26 against Portland, 25 against Philadelphia.
That is 9 of the last 13 points that Maurice Lucas has scored for the Blazers. So it's been the Lucas Hollins show here in the third quarter, Brent.
Collins comes up on Davis. Lucas with Mix. Calhoun with the doctor. Collins and Calhoun collide. Erving comes in on Lucas. 4 fouls on Maurice Lucas. He has scored 24 points already for Jack Ramsey's Blazers. And a reminder, on Saturday afternoon on the CBS Sports Spectacular, we'll have highlights of the Muhammad Ali track meet as Robin Jones checks into the game. And Lucas goes out to a standing ovation.
And you must remember, Brent, Bill Walton has been sitting on the bench for a very long time with 5 fouls. And Portland has come on strong with the big fella sitting down. comes the toughest part of the game for Portland. You got this big lead, everything's going good. Can they sustain it right now?
Hollins checks in. Jones. 25 for Lionel Hollins. 86-61. 2:40 to go in the third.
Team defense is almost non-existent now for Philly.
Erving at the offensive end. Jones finally got the field goal. Knocked away from Davis. Mix. Full court pressure. Calhoun off to Hollins, and here's Free. Erving will go on the double team trap. Here's Davis. Mix is there. There's got to be an open man against this defensive setup. 2-12. Calhoun, Erving. Robin Jones, and the shot clock goes inside 5. Philly seals Hollins off. They've got to hurry. Davis at the buzzer. Counted. The referee on the outside says counted.
Well, it seems to be said so many times they're going good. Everything seems to go right.
152. Free pushes up a one-hander. Hollins at the offensive end. Getting physical under the glass right now. They lose it. On the turnover, here's Davis. Cut off by Mix. Gene Shue up, arms folded. Go to his bench. He'll bring Bibby back. Ramsey signals from the sideline for Portland. Here's Neal. Shot clock down to about 6.
See, I can't even say it's the Trailblazers defense. The 76ers just did not come to play.
Nobody could miss. Grant, you see what happens. Portland's moving the ball. They're working it. They're getting good, decent opportunity shots. Philly's coming down and firing up right away. They still have to work the ball. They must execute on offense.
Gilliam checks in. They've got 90 points already. Against 27. Give them 92 as Davis hits again.
And Philadelphia has now been outscored by the Blazers 18-4 as we see Davis off the steal. Coming in, Lloyd Free can't get to him in time. He's going to foul him down low as Davis lays it in, and this Portland team is going crazy here in game number 4.
12,963. Squeezed into the Coliseum. Probably a few extras on hand. And if it keeps up this way, they'll be able to use tickets for Game 6 on Sunday afternoon back here in Portland. They trailed when this game began. 2 Philadelphia victories to 1 Portland victory. Now the Blazers close to evening it up. The last minute of the third quarter. 93-63. A 30-point Blazer lead. Whistle had blown. 4 fouls on Corky Calhoun. Bill Walton enjoying his rep.
Honestly, I did not see Game 4 being like this.
How about Jack Ramsey's bench in this explosion?
They have done a heck of a job. If you were to think that Philadelphia was going to get back into this basketball game in the third quarter, it would have been when Bill Walton went to the bench. Instead, the reverse happened. Portland has just gone absolutely bananas out here.
And then the scene shifts back to Philadelphia, where the 76ers have had it all their way in 2 games. In Game 5 on Friday night before their fans, who will be on their toes, roaring from beginning to end. Off the Neal to the glass. Oh, he'll come to the line.
Unbelievable. They take the ball out of bounds and they get breaks now. As I mentioned, there is no defense being played by Philadelphia out here. Here's the play. One pass to a man up the floor. Another pass to a man up the floor. He's able to go right to the basket. You saw the foul with the body. Chance for a 3-point play. Portland now has outscored Philly 21-6 with Bill Walton on the bench.
Neal at the free throw line. Darnell Hillman and Larry McNeil, the 2 finalists in the CBS Slam Dunk Contest, are very interested because as soon as a team wins 3 games, then in the next game, we will have the finals live. So that if Portland wins tonight, then obviously the finals would be Sunday back here in Portland. seconds, 96-65. Would you believe this Portland performance?
Incredible, Brent. Everything Philadelphia is doing is backfiring. They can't hold on to the ball. They can't pass the ball. They're not playing defense. A total breakdown right now on their part.
Lloyd Neal goes into Calhoun, and Erving goaltended. Give him the basket.
What Philadelphia has to do is the same thing that Portland had to try to do back in Philly. They must try to regain their composure so that going back home, they know that they can still do some constructive things.
Mix from the side. In case you're wondering, when's the last time a team won the first two and then lost the series, or conversely lost the first two and then came back to win it? It's only been done once in championship competition in the NBA World Championship Series. Boston Celtics did it. It has been done two other times in the playoffs, but never in the championship series except once before. But that's getting ahead of the score. We have come to the end of the third quarter. An incredible explosion by the Portland Trailblazers. We start the fourth quarter, 98-67. The Blazers closing in on their 17th straight victory at home. They have not yet lost a playoff in Portland. This is the first year they have been in the playoffs. They defeated Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia. And this would be their 17th consecutive victory. Cleveland, the last road team to win in here. Erving on the miss. Neal off. Mix had a hand on it. Here's Calhoun. Lead now to Robin Jones. Short Dawkins. Oh, rifle one out of bounds on the turnover. 20 turnovers for the 76ers and 12 for the Trailblazers.
So the Trailblazers, who were plagued by those turnovers in the first two games, have really minimized them thus far in the two games here in Portland. Let's not count Philly out, though, Brent. When they get back home, you know that they're going to be tough, but I've seen them come back from 25, 30 points before in one quarter.
Here's Neal. I'll tell you what, Rick, baby. I don't want anybody in Philadelphia down on me, but I'll give you the Sixers here tonight. And I don't want anybody to think I'm putting them down, but this has been an incredible show by Portland here tonight. Here is Robin Jones. Where are they coming from?
The momentum was always up.
That's one way of justifying your poor performance back in Philadelphia by coming out here and just totally dominating a team in two basketball games. Is exactly what Portland has done. As Gene Shue has been forced to call a timeout early into the fourth quarter, and you can rest assured he's going to be making some substitutions to give his first-line players some rest. As you see, towards it, making the pass to Robin Jones. Jones up and over Mix. What's the dunk shot? Anything Portland does is working. Anything Philadelphia does is not working. And this is one of the big blowouts in the playoffs this year.
Game 5 of this NBA World Championship Series Friday night in Philadelphia at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. And then the sixth game would be back here in Portland Sunday afternoon. 10:44 left. Erving inside off the glass. Taken off by Lloyd Neal. 102-67 is the score of this rout. Gilliam working against, gives it off to Neal, and there was a whistle.
Henry Bibby picking up foul number 4 on him. First team foul early here in the fourth quarter. Julius Erving will now go to the bench as Joe Bryant comes in. He'll get some rest. Doug Collins is already on the bench. McGinnis.
Rick, no question now, Gene Shue will clean off his bench. The team will travel back to Philadelphia tonight. And then what do they do to forget this nightmare?
Well, this is the kind you can forget very easily because you know nothing went right, and so you just chalk it off as a rotten game.
Twardzik cuts alone to the basket. There is not a single starter on the floor for Portland. Twardzik, Gilliam, Calhoun, Jones, and Neal, and here they come again. Twardzik. Spivey, Dawkins, Mix with a hand on it, Bryant, and free.
What you do, Brent, is you remember that you got beaten so badly and you try to pay them back eventually, but you can forget this a lot easier than a 1 or 2 point loss.
Calhoun missed. Loose ball foul called. Neal was coming across on Dawkins.
It was on Robin Jones.
And his first foul on Jones. They're going over to the side. A timeout has been called by the Philadelphia 76ers.
At this point, I would say the 76ers just need to pull out all the starters and put the bench in. You know, give them a shot. What do they have to lose?
Gene Shue will be very happy to get home and get some Philadelphia cooking and some Philadelphia support after what's happened to the 76ers in Portland. Bibby retrieves. Wally Walker was there, and here's Joe Bryant for Philly. He gives it off to Daryl Dawkins, who comes up on Neal. Dawkins hits the field goal. 9:28 left, and Philadelphia saying, warm up the plane. Here's Wally Walker. Bortzik out behind Neal. Dawkins. Look at that bullet pass off Free's hands. Here comes Portland. Gilliam with the jump shot. Dawkins came down on Twardzik.
There's the rebound going up. Dawkins goes in. Twardzik tries to sneak underneath. Catches him on the arm in his attempt to steal the ball for him. And Dawkins didn't like that too much and gave Twardzik a little push after that foul.
Let us hope that Philadelphia is not frustrated enough now to get in to another brawl in this situation. Here is Bibby coming up inside now on Neal. 8 minutes and 49 seconds, 104.71. Bibby was picked off by Neal, complaining. Off Mix's leg. Twardzik will go to the side. I think more than getting rough right now, Rick Bear is probably just a little sloppy. When you've got a route like this, 104.71 and 8:42, there are players who are saying, let's get it over with right now. Particularly Philadelphia says, we've had enough embarrassment. Let's try to get back to the Spectrum on Friday night and regroup, because they have not played it well at all.
No, they haven't in either of the ball games. Just the little spurts there on Sunday as Robin Jones picks up an offensive foul. And things are getting a little hectic out here. And with being so frustrated, it's very easy sometimes to let the temper get the best of you. And hopefully the officials will control things.
Bibby free. Mix, Bryant, and Dawkins. Here is Bryant, and offense is the call. Bibby picked up his 5th personal. But I would think that pretty soon we're going to be seeing Dunleavy, Furlow, maybe even Harvey Catchings. Has Catchings played a minute in the championship yet? Twardzik.
Yes, he was in briefly back in Philadelphia. And you're right, here comes Mike into the ball game now, Dunleavy, for Henry Bibby.
Bibby out.
I'll tell you who's really enjoyed this game, Brandon. The fans here in this building, they have had some emotional high here this evening.
Of all the major sports, this is the most emotional, and you ride those waves. And that is a factor with the home court advantage, I'm absolutely convinced. The athletes get right up on top of it like a surfboarder and take it to the beach. Skying, Dawkins got a hand and bodies going all over. 53, Dawkins fouled at least 6 men that time.
There you see the shot. Right now, we go off the boards, watching your picture in the middle of the screen right there. Dawkins trying to come up with the ball. He gets his hands on it, knocks one man out of the way with his arm, knocks another out with his body.
Dave Twardzik will go to the Redwoods, won't he? He's not afraid of any giant sequoia. Dunleavy, good pass to Lloyd Free, who came up, hit it, and drew the foul from Neal. There's Harvey Catchings in the middle. We haven't seen him yet tonight. Rick is right. He did get into one of the games back home in Philadelphia. Game 5 back in the Spectrum Friday night. Already a sellout. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And Johnny Davis replaces Dave Twardzik.
And Brent, that's the first time that Philadelphia has put 3 field goals back-to-back in this basketball game by that basket by Free.
Davis coming around. Dunleavy, the rookie from South Carolina. Frank McGuire's products. Jumped over on Davis that time. Good hustle, and Dawkins. So it's 3-on-0, and Free goes back to Dawkins, and Dawkins comes up. You can hear the reaction of the crowd. I'll tell you, Daryl Dawkins knocking bodies around, going to the hoop on the slam dunk. Wally Walker. They haven't told Dawkins the score, that it's 104-76.
Here's the pass over to Dawkins. He gathers himself together, up in the air. I think
you can tell that was a frustration dunk.
And he's a little hanging on the rim, and that's why the fans were crying. They felt there should have been technical foul for that.
Manny Sokol over at the scorer's table. Ramsey off on the right. Don Murphy joins it. Paul Mahalik is the alternate over there. He is discussing this with Manny. Dean Shue on the left. Shot clock problem here, perhaps. Clock's up on top of the glass backboards. See that Superman jersey there on the fan in the background? I think the entire Portland Trailblazer team came out here. Stripped off whatever they were wearing in Philadelphia and revealed giant S's on the front of their jersey. You talk about two teams turning around in two different arenas. Now they're altering the shot clock. It's just hard to believe that it was the same Philadelphia team that we watched in the first two games, and conversely the same Portland team.
That's for sure, Brent. After the way they played against Los Angeles, to play that way against Philly back in Philly was really surprising, and this is really incredible what's taking place.
Robin Jones on mix. To the corner goes Dunleavy. Dunleavy yelling out instructions. Bill Bryant.
That's 11 points in a row now for Philadelphia, Brent.
104-78. Their longest run of this game. And it's going to go back to Philadelphia.
Wally Walker called for an offensive foul. The officials really watching things out here, not about to let things get out of hand.
Mix on the pick. Davis follows through it with Dunleavy. No. Offense is the call. Offensive foul.
Yeah, it's a good call by the officials. Watch Dunleavy make the initial move into the man, jump straight into him. Good call.
And the fans in Philadelphia getting ready for Friday night. If they want to out-cheer these Portland fans, they've got their work cut out for that game. Here's Gilliam. Pull up on Dunleavy. Will he stay down? 106-78, 6 minutes and 21 seconds left. Sunday's sixth game will start at 12 noon here in Portland. Not 12:30, but 12 noon, so that's 3 o'clock New York time for the sixth game. Off of Neal and out of bounds, the 76ers retain possession. Jack Ramsey over questioning Mahalik. Bill Walton with that fifth foul went to the sideline, and Portland hardly missed him as Lloyd Freed tosses up his 13th and 14th points outside. 106-80, 26-point lead. There's one a and the doctor also watching as it winds down in Portland. Bryant puts up another one outside, and Davis with the ball on the floor for the Blazers. Free was there along with Dunleavy. Gilliam outside.
Hearn said, "Baby, I got the hot hand. I want that basketball." This is what he did in game 2 against Los Angeles. Look at this, Brent.
Back to Portland.
What frustration. An inbound pass. They make the pass.
At this point, everything the Trailblazers putting up is going down.
And can't hold on to it. Philadelphia is really snake-bitten this game.
Hard to believe, but back in his college days at Purdue, Gilliam was a great rebounder. They had a shooter. As Corky Calhoun checks in, Neal goes out to a standing ovation. They had a shooter by the name of Rick Mount on the Boilermakers, and Gilliam hit the boards for that team. Robin Jones, Dr. Gilliam. Just as you pointed out, Gilliam wanted it, maneuvering on Free. Free fouled him.
Take a look at the play here. He makes a little bit of a fake, gets Free out of position. Free coming forward. He tries to go to the hoop. Free with the foul. 3 team fouls on both teams now. 5:15 to go.
Wally Walker, the rookie from Virginia, looks in, goes Calhoun. Calhoun played his college ball at Pennsylvania. Davis takes it alive, backing away, and threw it up with a right hand.
Great body control that time by Davis.
Dunleavy going through. Gilliam had a hand on it, forced the turnover. Davis breaks. Gilliam keeps it. And here's Wally Walker.
This crowd is just going crazy. Everybody doing a super job for the Blazers. Doesn't matter who's playing. Jack Ramsey's liable to come in and score one, Brent.
He'd bring his assistant, Jack McKinney, into this here soon. Jack played for him back at St. Joseph's. He was an assistant coach under Larry Costello at Milwaukee. He's been enjoying every moment of this.
The look on Jack's face is incredible. You think his team was in a very close basketball
look at Jack
game.
Ramsey over there kneeling down and looking in. Jack, it's 114 to 80. Dawkins makes it 82. Tony Verna, who's done an excellent job directing, I'll pick up on Ramsey for us the way he's staring over there. Our producer, Bob Stenner, thanks to both of them for the job they have done out here in Portland. We're going to see them both on Sunday. We go back to pick up Chuck Milton and Sandy Grossman in Game 5 in Philadelphia. There's Jack McKinney.
Well, he looks like he's enjoying it a little bit. Jack Ramsey, he looks so serious. It's incredible. Look at Jack. Look at that face on him. Come on, Jack, lighten up.
Come on, Jack. It's 114 to 82. He has done some job with this franchise, hasn't he, this year? I'll tell you. You know, I think much more of his Buffalo job now that he's been out here in Portland. He had that team storming when they'd get into the playoffs. Boston would eliminate them, but they'd go 6, they'd go 7. He'd go Washington 6 games. Dawkins moving in on Jones, drew the foul, and again with authority. Darryl Dawkins letting it be known that he will not slip out of Portland in the dark of the evening, that they're going to remember his exit.
The basket was not good, Brent. He was fouled before the shot.
Davis receives another ovation here from Portland. And Joe Bryant just leaned over to the table and said, back to Philadelphia.
You must remember, though, Brent, it has to be pointed out again, that this Portland team, in order to win this championship, still has to beat this Philadelphia team back in Philadelphia. And right now, it's been a home team's series. And so if Philadelphia can come back and respond, they will have the upper hand again. The pressure is still on Portland to win in Philadelphia.
Game 5 Friday night, the anniversary of last year's 5th game. Do you remember what happened? We almost played all night long in the Boston Garden.
That's
the Phoenix Suns and the Boston Celtics. What a night. Triple overtime. The Celtics won it and defeated Phoenix in the 6th game. Two exhausted teams down in Phoenix on a Sunday afternoon. And our Game 5 will be coming your way from the Spectrum in Philadelphia at 9 p.m. Philadelphia time, 8 p.m. in St. Louis, 7 o'clock in Denver, and 6 o'clock out here in Portland, San Francisco, and Los Angeles.
A foul was on Joe Bryant, and I have to really compliment the officials, Brent. They're not allowing things to get out of hand. They're really watching what's going on out there and calling them close, and I think that's an excellent idea under the circumstances.
Don Murphy was one of the referees in that famous 5th game last year in the Boston Garden. He worked out with Richie Powers. Do you remember when Powers was assaulted by the fan? Everybody thought the game was over. Back they came. Garfield Hurd. 3:38, 118-83. Jump pass to Dunleavy, thrown by Terry Furlow. Dawkins is coming up on Jones, and here's Larry Steele. Wally Walker wanted Gilliam, and Nix was there in the passing lane.
Portland still coming out doing what they do best, rebounding, running it up the floor. It doesn't matter who's in the game. They stick to their game plan. They stick to the style that's been so productive for them throughout the year.
One of their good season ticket holders sitting right next to our table looked over at us in commercial and said, 7 long, frustrating years. And now we've got this on the brink of a championship. Their first time in the playoffs.
Wally Walker got 6 quick points at the end of the game, and Sunday he got 6 quick ones here. Jack Ramsey is finally smiling. I can't believe it.
All right.
He's showing emotion.
Finally believes. Walker on the interception, and here's Gilliam. Last 3 minutes, and Herman fires up ahead. 122 to 83.
You know he's got it in the bag. He's sitting on the bench.
Philadelphia had scored 107 points in each of the first 3 games of this series. Not going. For every winner, there's a loser. And Gene Shue saying, we will be back in Philadelphia in Game 5.
And most importantly, you can't call that man a loser, and we certainly don't mean it in that vein. Gene Shue, an excellent coach, done a super job with this team. He still has the commanding position with 3 games remaining in Philadelphia, and you could rest assured that Philadelphia will be back on Friday night.
Darnell Hillman and Larry McNeil watching with interest as they get ready for the Slam Dunk Finals live on CBS. Two minutes and 46 seconds left, 122-84.
Interesting thing I just noticed, Brent, I just might as well bring it up, is Darryl Dawkins is wearing 2 different brand shoes. That's incredible. 2 different colors on it.
There they are. I think maybe the red has just been stripped away from one, hasn't it?
No, that's two different styles, two different brands.
He's got two endorsements. Two shoe checks. Here's Walker. Wally Walker rolls up the hook. 225. 124.85. There'll be a 6th game in Portland on Sunday. High noon in Portland. Bryant. And one way or the other, it could end on Sunday.
Well, since we're going for crazy things, Joe Bryant's wearing one low top and one high top shoe.
This team has got to get back to Philadelphia and get his shoe wear straightened out. Calhoun. Dawkins. Wants Mix. Bounces off a Mix in the end zone.
Too many errors.
Furlow cuts off Steele inside of 2 minutes. Robin Jones crashes Dunleavy, scores the field goal, 126 points. They had 127. Listen to the noise in this arena. Listen to these fans. Our producer, Bob Stinner, today. A route directed by Tony Berna, who will go down now to Los Angeles to put together the highlights of the Muhammad Ali track and field meet. Our associate directors, Bob Dunphy and John McDonough. Don't miss that track meet. Saturday afternoon on CBS. Houston McTeer at 100 meters against the finest in the world. Muhammad Ali in a celebrity 100 meter. 142, 126, 86. We wind it down. There will be a 6th game in Portland. Second half points so far, Portland 69 and Philadelphia 40. Dunleavy on the intercept. Comes up on the miss, and here's Furlow. Gilliam challenging Dunleavy that time. Dawkins with Walker. Here's Larry Steele checking the time, using the clock. Gilliam contesting for the ball with Dunleavy.
You can see why he was a rebounder when he played in college. He has tremendous leaping ability, and he's a big, strong guard.
He was in a final against UCLA. Dunleavy looking now and goes to Mix. The last minute in Portland. And off come the Blazers. 30 Philadelphia turnovers as Walker hits another one.
Manny Sogol just called a backcourt foul on Larry Steele. Both teams in the bonus situation. Joe Bryant to the line. No, it'll be Furlow. 3 chances to make 2. Has Gene Shue. Get this playbook, wants to see what time the plane's leaving so he can get back to Philadelphia and regroup his Chargers.
It can't leave fast enough after these 2 games. And it was the same thing for Portland and Philadelphia. And we were going to come down to a best 2 out of 3. And can either of these teams win away from home? But as Rick Berry has repeatedly pointed out, Philly has the upper hand. No question about it, because of the home court advantage. And now how the Trailblazers wish Bill Walton would not have missed 17 games when they were 5-12. Mixed to the glass. This will be Portland's 17th straight victory here on the Coliseum floor. They have not lost during the playoffs. With Walton on the floor, they are 42-2. A remarkable statistic for the big redhead. And here tonight, 5 fouls. He went out. It looked as though Philadelphia might close the gap, but it was the bench of Jack Ramsey's that blew this one wide apart. 74 fouls whistled in this game, 35 against Philly, 39 against Portland. The last 20 seconds, and we'll see you all Friday night. Steele back to the Spectrum in Philadelphia, already a sellout. Can't get the ticket in Philly. Furlow maneuvering, underhands it in. Fitz Dixon, the owner of the 76ers here for this game, could not make the 3rd game. had problems with his airplane, probably wishes he had missed game 4 and picked up on this series back in the Spectrum. Last 7 seconds, and when you hear this crowd, it's going to explode at least one more time.
And they've loved it because not that many people have left.
Still right here. Here's Bryant. Last 2 seconds now, and it is over.
They have to bring the ball inbounds first. Players are leaving the floor. Could easily be a technical foul, but they won't call it. No sense for that.
That is it. The final score in Portland for game number 4 is the Portland Trailblazers 130 and Philadelphia 98. This is Brad Musburger for Rick Barry and Steve Jones reminding you to be with.
To lose by almost 40 points. I'm going to be honest with you. In the beginning of the fourth quarter, I was hoping to see one hell of a comeback. A close game. To lose by a close game, no big deal. But to lose by almost 40 points, massive blowout. Tell me your thoughts in the comments about this video, about this game, about this quarter. Tell me the MVP, who you think was the MVP of this game as well as this quarter. The frustration was high in this game, I can tell. Be sure to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.